this. Pretty old Hamilton. Nothing too special about it other than my own obsession with nice old Hamiltons. Nice curved case. It looks a lot like a nice Gruen Curvex. And let's see how many more times I could say the word nice. The crystal shot. Unfortunately, I don't have any more replacement crystals for this. Let's see if we can focus in on that a bit better. Maybe not. Guess not. Case has a lot of brush scratches. It's 10K gold filled, old, ugly, stretchy gold filled band. So we're going to be doing a few things to it. If you get up in there and look at the lugs right there, it's pretty dirty in there. Also, let me grab a tool, show you. It's dirty all along the crystal right there, all along the side. So we're going to clean that up. We're going to put a new case, new band, a little leather band, because this is, what is this, size 16 bands. I have plenty of size 18. 16s don't come around very often. I don't find them cheap enough to buy them in wholesale. So we're going to put a little brown band on there. And we're going to take the band off, clean it up. The tools, I guess I'll introduce as we do it. For now, I guess let's take the band off. It'll probably be one heck of a fight. These old watches have those old rusted out spring bars, so sometimes can be a heck of a fight to get these off. So we'll go ahead and try to get this off. And this band is pretty much scrap. I mean, there's no reason of saving it. So we'll do some destruction here. We just want to make sure we don't break the lugs off, or the spring bars off in the lugs. That would be bad news. So we got that part off right there, and if you look right in there, see if we can get that. It's pretty yucky, pretty dirty like my hands. I've been working a lot, so sorry about that. We'll try to get this one off now. The first one's always the easiest. Isn't that how it always works? Ow. And if you can tell, I get myself hurt quite a bit. Alright, that one wants to be a little bit harder, so I got a few tools we can work with here. Of course, I have my band remover. So you just pry that in between the lug and the top hinge of the bar. So I'll show you real quick. See if I can get that focus. So right here is where the lug meets the spring bar. Oop, losing the camera a bit. Right there is where the lug meets the spring bar. So you squeeze the tool right in there and try to pop it off. And sometimes you get these old watches with really bad spring bars. There we go. So there's the old gold fill band. You can see all the dirt we got from it right there. So let's readjust this a bit. There, now you can see all the dirt we got from that mess. I mean, that was all inside of the watch there. You could see how just absolutely filthy it is. I mean, that's a lot of dirt and corrosion. But we're going to get rid of all that. We're going to make it pretty. The only part we're not going to be able to fix, which is going to make me sad, is the crystal. In later videos, we will work on buffing out some crystals. That's going to be a learning step with me, so whoever watches that is going to be learning what I learn at the same time. Alright, now, since we got that out of the way, this is the band we're going to be putting on there. I mean, it's going to make it look better, that's for sure, I think. But let's clean this guy up. So my workstation isn't the prettiest station, mainly because I know I'm going to be getting a lot of dirt all over the place. So the Dremel, well, what I use a couple different things. The first thing I use is Dremel Bit 530. It's a stainless steel brush. It's made for all sorts of metals. You know, look at the back here. You can use on stainless steel, pewter, aluminum, silver, other white metals used for cleaning, deburring, and surface finishing. Now, this is the bit that I use for almost everything. Dremel has a few other bits that are shaped just like this, these wire brushes. China on eBay also has some that are a fraction of the cost. I do not recommend getting those because the bristles fly all over the place, and you will find yourself coming in your house, picking them out of your skin, picking them out of your hair, picking them out of your feet. So spend the $4, get the Dremel brand. It's well worth it. And here's the carbon steel brush. Honestly, I have not noticed a difference. The carbon steel I know you use for a lot more electrical for cleaning to make good clean circuit like grounds and everything. So we'll go ahead and open this up so we can put it in our Dremel. And that had to happen at some point. So now the bits, I mean, they hurt when they get your fingers, that's for sure. So we'll get those out of the way. So nice little bit right there. Now the Dremel I use is called the Dremel 3000. It's a big guy, but it gets the job done. I use a few different Dremels. I use a few different extensions. Again, it's whatever your preference is for the time being. This one, the reason I'm using the Dremel 3000 is because it was closer. So that's the one we're going to be using. Alright, now the Dremel is going to be pretty loud, so I'm not going to adjust the speaker for that. But let's zoom in. Let's get a pretty good look at what we're looking at there. So there's a lot of corrosion, a lot of just old yuckiness right here. I mean, of course you could scratch that away with a dental tool. That would just take some time. So what we're going to use is the Dremel instead. Now, one thing you need to know about these steel wire brushes is when you first open them, they can be very harsh. I mean, it cuts into it, especially if you're cleaning an old watch like this. These watches are gold fill, which mean it has a very, very thin layer of gold on the top. And if you look right here, you can see the gold fill is faded away a bit right there. So basically this bit is going to rip into that. So you want to definitely be careful that you're not ripping further into the gold fill. So when you first use the brushes, they're going to attack it basically. So once it gets used a little bit, it starts to not destroy whatever you touch. So what I like to do is I like to turn my Dremel on, touch it down the cement where the brush is down, just for like 10 seconds, and then it helps a lot. So let's do that. Alright, and then you can see the difference. It pushed the brushes up and everything. It just makes it to where it doesn't destroy whatever you're trying to do. Because I don't want this watch destroyed, I want this watch to look nice. So let's go and clean right behind the lugs. And I usually use it around number 3 or number 4. Which, the higher the number, the higher RPMs, obviously. So you can see that how it's cleaned that a lot better already. So let's get that side, every crack and crevice there, get in there nice and deep. You know, you turn different angles to get different positions. Now, one thing I've learned from doing this for a while is if you're going to do the back of the case, first of all, you know, you need to be pretty good at what you're doing. Because you're going to see whichever direction you went. Another thing is always try to go in one direction. If you go in a circle, you're going to see a perfect outline of the circle. Normally, on a watch like this, I don't do the backs. What I will do is do a little bit of polishing, but not take a Dremel brush directly to it. It'll be pretty rough to it. So we'll start on the next side. Alright, so we're going to start on this side. And there's still a bit of corrosion. I'll zoom in a bit so you guys can see that. Focus in. Hey, that was a little bit too far zoomed in. But yeah, you can see all that. It's pretty gross, you know, actually, to be honest with you. Think about walking around you got that on your wrist. That's yucky. So let's make it not yucky. See, that side looks better there. And now there's a divot in there that we need to try to get to without hitting a crystal. Another thing is, if you are not, if whatever watch you're working on doesn't have a glass or sapphire crystal, this Dremel bit will literally go right through the plastic. So that does look a little bit better. I mean, you can definitely tell. It's hard to tell with all the light we got here, but I think there's definitely improvements made. So we'll do another part of just the side. Now, if you're looking at it, you can see all the scratches. I mean, going in every single direction, right? What you want to do is we'll hit it just in one direction like that, back and forth, and that will clean it up a lot. So we'll start with that. So